Hey, this is Stans and Barnes. We're here at I Love Video and we're going to plump you up.
Lots of movies, pizza, beer, chips, and sodas.
Yeah, I Love Video rents all movies for $1.99 weekdays,
Including new releases and adult.
I Love Video Pizza, I-35 at Breaker and Manchac at Stastny.
where we got the delicious pizza and beer.
And I Love Video at Airport and 45th.
We got lots of artsy-fartsy cult and fun movies.
Yeah, so save your energy. Get it all at I Love Video where we're going to plump you up.
I started I Love Video. This is actually our 30th year in the video business. John and I, my business partner, we went to high school together. And this was in like '83, and I was already in the video business. And we came to visit him one spring break, and it's like, oh, this is might be a really interesting town to have a video store in. And this was pre-Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. At the time, there was probably there's probably 200-300 independent video stores over there. There's like Aardvark and National Video and locals like Home Video and Video Barn. There was a fair amount. I mean, literally, you can visualize there were video stores in every single corner. It was huge.
Yeah, it was a total like consciousness shift for the film buff. You know, like younger people just don't understand. Like you knew of films, but they were just these mysteries. You had heard about it, but it wasn't accessible. You had to wait for it to come around, you know, or show it again at a revival house. Maybe look through the TV guide, might show it 2 a.m. as filler on some station, the growing more and more TV stations throughout the 80s. So when videos came, it was really a revelation. It's like, oh, well, this is gonna put theaters out of business, but it was so exciting to have, you could see everything. But it didn't work that way. You could see popular movies. The trickle down, it took a long time before they really started bringing more interesting fare, you know.
But we decided to do something a little different. It's like, okay, let's just, instead of getting 50 or 100 copies of one film that are, or, you know, just expire people get sick of them within a month, let's just get some very, you know, avant-garde and interesting films by directors and, you know, educate people more about the film industry.
We have around 70,000 at this store, and then we have around, I'd say like 40-something at our other location. It's, I guess that one feels a little bit more like for young people. A lot, you know, the movies that do well over there. I mean, we have a Wes Anderson section at the Guadalupe store, and we don't have one of those over here. Yeah, I guess that's that kind of stuff, like tailoring it more toward the students. And over here we have the room to just to get everything that we want. You know, there we have to be a little bit pickier about our inventory just because we don't have the room that we have over here.
So you'd have to call Airport, but I mean they have a bigger collection, so that there's a better chance that they would have it.
And in fact, this whole upstairs used to be closed off, and we had to open it up about 5 years ago just to make room. And all that is all of our foreign stuff now.
How do you keep it organized?
As best we can. I mean, everyone sort of will like take over parts of the store for a while and kind of make that their goal to keep it organized. I was doing horror and sci-fi and stuff because I'm in love with those movies, but I've moved over to doing like comedy and action just because they get thrashed pretty hard upstairs. So yeah, you just kind of trying to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be, alphabetical and all that good stuff. Obviously, the family section is tricky to keep organized, but just got to do it every day, I guess.
And you know, when you're on Netflix or even Redbox, you're just browsing endlessly, and then you're just like, well, shit, I don't know what the fuck to watch. And then you end up browsing for 40 minutes and fucking watching Die Hard or Jungle to Jungle or whatever. You know, it just becomes completely pointless. But here, it's just like, hey, I'm going to talk to someone who actually knows about films and kind of get an idea of what I can watch, you know.
And that's what's cool is all the employees can do stuff like that. We can, you know, add sections to the store. I made sure we had a Joe Dante director's section because he's the shit. And Tobe Hooper and Michael Haneke, and then making the heavy metal horror section, which is, you know, like demons and all of that sort of stuff.
You know, we like shopping, you know, reading the, you know, online you can't necessarily read that much or see the recommends, you know, all the things we like about bookstores, we also like about video stores. And so it's really in the people, the spirit of the place, the people. That's what kind of keeps you there.
And I think the thing that separates us from, mainstream video stores when they were still mainstream video stores, and even other stuff, I think it's just, I don't know, I think our commitment or our continued pursuit of like creating community around film and kind of, film is a collaborative effort, a collaborative art form, and so we're sort of a reflection of that, and people can come and we can talk about film and we can exchange ideas and learn new things. And so I Love Video, I think, is much more than just a video store. I think it's a place where people can come and I don't know, just enjoy the art of film, art of filmmaking.
This is awesome. It's nice to see a bunch of people here to watch House. How many people here have never ever seen House before? It's one of those, films that when you watch it, you're like, I can't believe what I just saw. I can't believe that ever got made. That's incredible. It's so cool. So I'm just going to introduce the movie really briefly. So it sort of came from this era in Japanese film in sort of the middle to getting to the later 70s when there was kind of a lull in filmmaking. There had been this sort of radical period in the 60s and early 70s.
Well, to set up an account, we charge a $2.50 membership fee, and that's a one-time fee for life. But when there were competition video stores, which not anymore, we would offer to waive that fee if somebody were to sacrifice their corporate video store card. So we would take Blockbuster, Hollywood, any of that kind of stuff. And if they cut it up, they'd get a free membership or a free rental if they already had an account. But we won, so we will not be seeing new Blockbuster cards anymore.
These are both due back before midnight on Sunday. Cool, man. Here, I'll pull it out. Give you a nice Ruby Redbird. Shiner. Yeah, it's their summer beer.
So Free Beer Tuesday is you can come in on Tuesday nights, every night, at either Guad or Airport, and get a free beer. Well, we think we cut you off after 2, but it's a really cool way to come in and just hang out and talk about films, drink while you browse.
Especially the airport location, you get people who, it becomes like a date scene where it's like, okay, let's have a couple of beers and pick a movie and then go home and watch it.
And I think it really, again, helps, foster this idea of community and a video store being much more than just like a sort of sterile place of business, like a Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, which don't exist anymore. And why don't they exist anymore? Because no one gave a shit, you know what I mean? But people, after Netflix, but people actually care about this store, and I think Free Beer Tuesdays is one of those things,
I've been coming here since I moved here. Not only do they offer free beer on Tuesdays, but if you're a film buff, this is totally the place for you. They have dedications to certain directors, certain kinds of subgenres of films, all sorts of exploitations, foreign films. But not only that, you'll look around and you'll see just a long history of just people who have either worked here or just are working here now, and they just give their critique of a film. You don't get that with Netflix. You don't get people talking about why they like a movie or what you might find in it. And I think that's kind of cool because it's a great place to go, and you got experts looking out for you.
Have you seen Solaris before?
I haven't, so I'm excited to.
It's good. You should watch, after this one, watch the new one that Steven Soderbergh did with George Clooney and someone else. I forget her name. But yeah, it's really interesting to compare and contrast the two. But this one's really good. It's the history behind it, man. This place just represents so much, and especially in terms of Austin, Texas, when the old Austin is kind of being ushered out with this sort of new Austin, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Growth isn't a bad thing, but I think this is one of the few staples in this town that still kind of represent what Austin used to be, and I think it's really important.
I think in Austin, yeah, we're lucky that you know, I Love Video has been one of those places where you feel good, you know, walking in there.